Hey guys, J-Man here. Okay, I haven't done a weekly X-Men talk in a while, a couple of weeks at least, maybe 3 weeks. There's a reason for that, and unfortunately, I am going to stop doing the weekly X-Men. It's been 2 years or more, and I've never missed a weekly X-Men talk, but they've worn me down. It is just so boring. Nothing happens in any of these issues. I stopped reading AXE or whatever. Cyclops is my favorite Marvel character. He hasn't always been my favorite, but he's been up there. Even, sometimes it's hard to say who your favorite character is. Like, Superman's my favorite character of anything, so that's always been consistent pretty much my whole life. I've liked other characters up and down, and Cyclops is up there. I also liked, Namor at one point was kind of my favorite. I obviously Spider-Man and Hulk were my childhood favorites. Captain America, those kind of guys. I like Punisher, Wolverine, but I always liked the X-Men. I liked Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm. So X-Men was always something I loved, but it's just so boring. Nothing's happening in my opinion. It's just the quiet council talking, then it goes to Arakko and they're talking, and it's just nothing's going on. The reason I got into X-Men was for the action and the characters, and people are saying, well, it's talking, it's character development, but it's not really character development. It's not really progressing anything. They're just talking. Or I can't stand half the characters either. I don't know if it's just a crop of writers that we have and it's just not doing it for me. So the other day, and as you know, Sean and I do our 90s comics talk. So the other day I was thinking back, and the last Shadowhawk came out, and I had bought that and reviewed it, and I really liked it. And I thought, I really love those Image comics. I was an Image guy, bought all the comics. I know people look back at it and think it wasn't that good, and I was like that as well. I looked back and didn't think they were that good, and I had Spawn 1 to 50, sold it all. I sold all my Image comics, and now except for Cyberforce, for whatever reason, I like Cyberforce, and I didn't sell those, but everything else I'm trying to get back. So I've actually, till date, I was able to get back everything that I had sold, except for my Spawn comics. And I used to love Spawn. Like, when that movie was coming out, I was so jazzed. I was like, I can't believe it. Now, the movie wasn't, up to the standards of Spawn, which, that's fine. But I love Spawn. I thought he was a great character. He looked good. When I sold a lot of my toys, there's a few I did not sell, and I'll show you right now. This one I had kept, because I used to buy all the Spawn toys, and I couldn't sell this one. I'm like, this is just so cool. I thought Spawn was an amazing design. I know the influences. There's the Spider-Man. There's sort of the Batman-ish kind of cape. There's the chains and skulls, Punisher, Ghost Rider, kind of all that mixed into one. But I don't really, it doesn't, to me, if it looks good, it looks good. Don't forget that, Batman is like Zorro, right? Rich guy, wears all black, has like the whip and gun. Now he has a grappling hook, right? He's got a car instead of a horse, right? Lives in a cave underground in a mansion. I mean, every character can find its roots somewhere, right? Unless you're freaking Tarzan from 1912 or whatever that or John Carter. It's like you're somebody, right? Maybe even John Carter's based on, I don't know. If you know somebody, if John Carter's based on someone, let me know. I think there might have been another guy before that. But anyway, so long story short, I ended up grabbing the latest issue of Spawn just on a whim, and came to realize that it was $3, $2.99 US dollars. And I thought, whoa, because it came out really cheap. I thought, whoa, this is really cheap. What's going on? Spawn has been $2.99 for a long time. When it came out, I think it was $1.99 in 1992, and I don't have Spawn #1 to show you anymore. I think it was $1.99 because it was like $2.40 American or something like that, right? And I thought, okay, and so it's gone up $1 since 1992. Marvel comics are like $4 or $5. Some of the DC ones are $5. That's a lot. So right off the bat, this is like almost half. Like when we convert this to Canadian, it's like just under half cheaper. So I'm like, okay, the art is fantastic. Spawn still looks cool. Cygor, Overt Kill, freaking Redeemer, Medieval Spawn, they're all still around. I'm like, oh my God, Sam and Twitch. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. I'm like, it just brought back so many fond memories of Spawn that I've kind of decided to maybe even get the full run of Spawn 1 to 300 and whatever. This is 332. I read it out of context. I just read it and I'm like, wow. And then I realized there's the Scorched and there's King Spawn and there's Gunslinger Spawn. I thought, oh my God, there is so much going on. There's a little Spawn universe. And I thought, let me get back into it. So I got digitally, I went back and I got 300 and on, and then physically, I got as many as I could. And I got all the Scorched issues physically, almost all of Gunslinger Spawn and almost all of King Spawn. I'm only missing like 1 or 2 of each of those series. Scorched, I have all. So I am going to start a weekly Spawn review. I'm going to catch up. I now remember, I read 1 to 50 and then I haven't read 51 to 299. I'm going to ignore those just to get some content and some videos out there. So I'm going to start with, so I'm reading 300 and I'm going to skip all that. Right now there's this whole thing where Spawn has unleashed all these different spawns. And it's like people are stuck on the world, stuck on Earth. And there's a bunch of spawns popping up everywhere. And they're trying to figure out which ones are good or bad. That's where I'm at now. So I'm not even here yet. I had to stop reading this. I went back. So I'm going to do a weekly Spawn thing. I'm going to need a couple of weeks to catch up to the current story. I'm not too far. I just started King Spawn number 1 today. So I'm catching up as much as I can. I'm about 13 behind on regular Spawn. And I haven't started Scorched or Gunslinger. So give me a couple of weeks to catch up on that. And then I'm going to do a weekly Spawn talk with whatever comes out. And I've got them all. I'm getting them all physical because I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it for the money. I think it's a great value. And I think the art is incredible. I still like Todd McFarlane. And I think Spawn is an amazing character. I think he's great. And checks the boxes. Black superhero, original black superhero, still going. It is the longest running independent comic, which they remind you in every issue, record-breaking comic. So yeah, so that's that. I gotta tell you though, the other day when I was reading Spawn's universe and some of these other ones, I just fell in love with Gunslinger Spawn. So I had to go out and see what was out there. So I grabbed this guy right here. What an awesome figure, man. I mean, it's Todd McFarlane. The figures are awesome. I love Gunslinger Spawn. He is just freaking cool. One other Spawn thing I had from when I was a kid was, or not a kid, I've had this one and it's a little Spawn. So I've never got rid. So the only 2 Spawn figures I ever kept was that big one I showed you and that little one. The other ones I had aren't as good. So I've been looking to get maybe some of the current toys. I ordered a big Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn, so he's in the mail. But Gunslinger Spawn, god damn, that guy's awesome. So yeah, I've had it with, I'm gonna try to keep up on maybe X-Force and X-Men. I am still buying, for physical comics, I'm still buying New Mutants, and I'm buying Action and Wonder Woman. That's it. I canceled Patch. I'll read it on the side. I'm not getting any of the X-Men books. I've canceled it all. Not even digital. I'm not even getting them digital. I might read them through whatever sites I can find them, and to keep up, I guess. You know, someone can let me know once all this quiet counts, all this stuff goes away. I want it to be classic X-Men Adventures, and that's totally fine. If you're thinking, well, you know what, it's too bad for me. Well, then it's too bad for me. I like books right now. I am, just because Lord of the Rings, I'm rereading. You know, well, I've never read Lord of the Rings proper, so I'm about 100 pages into Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. So I can read books that are long and big and have a lot of character stuff. But that's not what X-Men was. X-Men was able to convey character moments and dramatic moments, but still have action and excitement. These current comics are constipated. They literally will not do it. Nothing happens. Even Action Comics. It's not just Marvel, it's DC. Action Comics is brutal. Brutal. I'm still buying it. Brutal. Wonder Woman, I haven't read the last 5 issues, so it just got boring. But yeah, Spawn, I read about 20 issues of the current Spawn in like, I don't know, 3 days or something. It's just like, I was like, wow, I'm blown away at how exciting it is. And the art is fantastic. Great stuff. It's a good comic for $3 US. I think it's super worth it. It's probably the best valued comic out there right now. I checked out Savage Dragon. No, I don't think I'm gonna go with Savage Dragon. I do like Eric Larson's art, but there is a lot of politics in it, and it's American politics, and I'm Canadian, and I just don't care. Sorry, I don't care about it. There's also a lot of real world stuff, like he mentions the pandemic and all that, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. That's one of the reasons why I bowed out on a lot of other books as well. Not a fan of that. I am reading Ant because I thought that was kind of fun. That's also Eric Larson. I will definitely pick up Wildcats coming out November. However, I'm not sure about that because I do like the writer, but he's also, I've seen some other posts of his where I thought, oh no, I hope this doesn't have too much of the politics in it, because I just don't like it. Spawn does have a few things here and there, but it always makes sense with the story they're telling. So for that reason, I'm really enjoying Spawn. Maybe it'll get bad in the next 13 issues that I got to read, but I don't think it will. But yeah, let me know in the comments. What do you think of Spawn? Are you cool with that? Are you cool with me going to Spawn? Because it's happening. It's happening no matter what. I got to do it. It's just I'm just too pumped up for it. So I think Spawn's going to be good. Plus, we're still going to do our 90s comics talk. Plus, we're still going to do our wrestling talk, and we're doing our open chat. We're moving that to Fridays for right now, just for a bit to see how it works out. But yeah, and we're doing our space opera versus battle. We've got 16 space opera movies that were all kind of rip-offs of Star Wars or inspired by Star Wars. They're going to face off against each other, and we're going to declare a winner. So that's going to be fun. Okay, guys, that's it. Please give me a like and subscribe. I see on my analytics that a lot of people who are watching are not subscribed, which is cool. I'm cool with that too. But if you do want to help me out, that would really I'd really appreciate it. All right, guys. Until next time.